neighbor's dog wouldn't stop barking, so I did some petty revenge.
So for 3 days straight, my neighbor's dog would not shut up. I asked him nicely, "Hey, could you keep your dog in your house?" He just looked at me and said, "So, dogs bark," then turned around and walked back inside. Later that night, my brother dropped off his dog named Sparky. I said I would keep an eye on him, which honestly, I didn't. I let Sparky outside and get distracted watching TV. I noticed that Sparky was gone for a while now. I go out to see Sparky hanging out with the neighbor's dog. My neighbor's dog was female, and I forgot to mention this. But Sparky isn't fixed. My brother would go on in a dramatic way. It'll take away his manhood, but I know he's too cheap to get him fixed. So I saw Sparky and the neighbor's dog and just walked back inside. Sparky did come back inside. The next day, my brother came to pick up his dog. A week later, I overheard the neighbor freaking out about his dog getting pregnant. "Maybe you should keep her inside," I said as I grinned. He knew I was behind it. He just couldn't prove it. He didn't know about me dog sitting my brother's dog, and I didn't have a dog. So he did get his dog inside. And another note, don't mess with me, Frank.
So I walk downstairs to see my roommate kissing my professor. My professor sees me, and he told me that if I don't tell anyone, he'll give me an A. So a few days later, I got my test back, and it was a C-. So naturally, I told everyone the truth, and the headmaster of the college was super angry and fired the professor, and my roommate was expelled, which is good for me because I get the place to myself.
I lost a bet, so I had to take a dump on the neighbor's front porch. So my homies bet me $20 to go poop on the neighbor's porch. $20 is $20, so I said yes. We go to my neighbor's Mr. Jefferson's house. Mr. Jefferson was an old man. Me and the boys went in the middle of the night. They stood there waiting. So I squat down and tried to concentrate. Believed me, it was hard. Then, all of a sudden, Stephen rings the doorbell, and they all took off. The porch light came on, and the dog started barking. I hear an old man say, "Who's there?" I pulled my pants up and started to run. I wasn't finished, so I had poop in my pants. I hide behind a trash can. I look over and see Jefferson step outside in his underwear and work boots. "What's that smell?" He looks down in disbelief. That damn neighbor's cat pooped on the porch again. I couldn't help but laugh. The guy saw it and burst out laughing. So I did get my $20 and had a good night out.
Have you ever thought about writing your teacher's phone number in the bar bathroom? I have. This teacher, Mr. Volkman, had favorite students, like he wouldn't even hide it. I think he tried to be hip with the kids, like those companies who would comment on TikToks trying to be relatable. One day, I get up to go to the bathroom. I guess he heard my pad rapper, and he said, "I guess somebody's on there, period." I ran out of the classroom all embarrassed. I planned my revenge. I snuck through the emergency exit and snuck to the men's bathroom. I had a hoodie on, so no one knew who I was. I wrote Mr. Volkman's phone number on the bathroom stall, then left. When Monday came and no one saw, Mr. Volkman, the principal came in and told us that Mr. Volkman had resigned. It turns out that people kept calling. Mr. Volkman and his wife answered the phone. Anne found out and was furious. So now they're divorcing. My teacher stole my lunch every day, so this happened in 7th grade. I left my lunch in Miss Johnson's class since it was my main class. I rush in there to hurry for lunch. I walk in and see Miss Johnson eating my food. I look at her with confusion. "Oh, you were late, so I thought you didn't want it." I said, "Yeah, I'm hungry." She shrugged and suggested the school food. It was nasty as hell, and she knew that, plus more expensive. I go home hungry and tell my parents. They said sorry, but that was all the food we had until we got food stamps. The next day, my neighbor made us some pasta and I took some of it to school. But that was a huge mistake because I walked in and it was all gone. I was 2 minutes late and she somehow ate all of it. My friend tells me she's been eating everybody's lunch and she doesn't. Of it healthy or really spicy? I knew we couldn't afford any healthy food, but it gave me an idea. When I got home, I asked my neighbor if she could make her famous spicy soup. I told her what had been happening at school, and she got real mad. She told me that she put extra spiciness in it. The next day at school, I walk into class all calm. I saw a huge mess, and it turned out she took one sip and ran away, and didn't come back until a week later. She never ate anyone's lunch again.